Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about massive news of a huge development involving how India could be set to use Hedera, and we'll also be talking about the recent updates surrounding MasterCard and Visa being at the center of using Hedera's network. So before we talk about the main stories today, I'd like to show you a clip featuring a representative of the Hedera Governing Council member FIS and the subsidiary organisation WordPay going into detail and providing insights as to why the organisation has chosen to build their offerings, their stablecoin offering, on Hedera, which is set to be available to the likes of Visa and MasterCard.
Is this just a fun proof of concept, a side project for WordPay, or should we expect this to actually hit the market?
Yes, definitely. This is not only the POC. When we actually built this, we wanted to have this more as a settlement service for any such particular stablecoin. So in the future, right now, this is currently been implemented with the USDC, but from the scalability and robustness perspective, this particular service or this entire POC can be extended to the any particular stablecoin in the future. And as we are seeing the traction from the CBDCs in the future, this can also fit such integrations in the future that can leverage this particular service.
So, as I previously mentioned, WordPay and FIS are actually at the center of building a stablecoin platform for both Visa and MasterCard. And at the center of this platform, we'll see the direct utility of Hedera's network, where Hedera comes with a number of benefits, especially in terms of its utility in stablecoin initiatives, where Hedera offers its consensus and tokenization service. So the amalgamation of the two services as provided by Hedera will go about improving the seamlessness and the active ability for the likes of MasterCard and Visa to issue and utilize stablecoins into their framework. So the main reason as to why Visa and MasterCard are turning to stablecoin protocols, including the active usage of USDC, which is provided by Hedera, is due to the benefits stablecoins provide as compared to more traditional infrastructure, where stablecoins are backed and built on DLT. So this means that stablecoin transactions are a lot more seamless, faster, cost effective, and a lot more eco-friendly compared to if the likes of Visa or MasterCard choose to implement and utilize infrastructure synonymous with traditional finance. So these are the key reasons as to why Visa and MasterCard are choosing to leverage stablecoins, and this is extremely bullish and exciting for Hedera. As I previously mentioned, Hedera is set to be at the center of the stablecoin infrastructure. So this only spells good news for Hedera, and it goes to show the benefits and the active utility Hedera provides. So very exciting, and it'll be interesting to see how this development plays out and how it could potentially impact the utility of Hedera's network and the utility of the HBAR cryptocurrency. So another story I'd like to talk about is a recent headline I recently came across, which actually states to how Dovu is set to unite to supercharge the Indian government's eco-friendly car recycling initiative, where an actual article was published by Dovu, where the article actually highlighted to how the Indian government are looking to more eco-friendly initiatives, especially surrounding car recycling initiatives. So the article noted to how the Indian government are set to collaborate with a number of stakeholders, including the metamaterials, circular markets, and Dovu. So the main reason as to why the Indian government are actually collaborating with the mentioned organizations is due to a relatively broad problem associated with the high degree of vehicles coming to the end of their life cycle, where the actual article noted to how India is home to 20 million vehicles approaching their end of life, with 5 million more joining the ranks annually, yet only 0.1% of these vehicles find their way to official scrapping channels. So due to the abundant number of vehicles which are needing to be scrapped in the near future, a number of solutions have actually been highlighted and put into place, where the actual Indian government have actually collaborated with MMCM, as I previously mentioned, which will derive sustainability credits from the Indian government to incentivize schemes to retire old vehicles. So the incentivization scheme as put forward by MMCM, which will incentivize vehicle users to scrap their vehicles, is in conjunction with Dovu, where the exclusive partnership between Dovu, MMCM and the Indian government will see the active leveraging of Dovu's carbon credit marketplace, where the actual article stated, in an exclusive partnership, Dovu will mint these credits and offer a transparent registry that traces their journey from inception to retirement. So this sees the likes of MMCM directly harnessing and leveraging Dovu's use cases and carbon credit marketplace for the ability for the Indian government and users across the wider Indian marketplace to keep track of the movement of vehicles within the supply chain. And in turn, this will go about improving the leveraging and the utility of the Dovu marketplace. So a member of the Dovu team actually referenced to this active partnership, where the CEO of Dovu actually highlighted as to how this could be quite significant, especially due to the abundant number of vehicles coming to the end of their life cycle within India, and with potentially millions of vehicles being minted in token form on Dovu. This will see overall increases to the utility of Dovu's marketplace in regards to tokenization. So Dovu is actually built on the Hedera network. So this sees Dovu actively using both Hedera's consensus and tokenization service. So in instances surrounding the potential minting of tokens to represent cars which are coming to the end of their life cycle across the Indian subcontinent, this will be synonymously minted through Hedera's tokenization service. So this factor will lead to increases to the overall utility of Hedera's network in terms of its consensus and tokenization service. And as a result, this will invariably lead to increases to the demand for HBAR, where HBAR will be at the center of verifying the tokenization of assets through its tokenization service as provided by Dovu. So the active incorporation and utility and the provisioning of HBAR in this sense will see potentially increases to the price of HBAR as demand increases over time. So very exciting, and it indicates a dual utility in regards to how Dovu and Hedera are both being used in this protocol. So another exciting use case surrounding Hedera in the real world, and there's not too many other organizations, especially within the DLT sphere, which are being harnessed in real world developments as the likes of Hedera and its subsidiary organizations, and dApps, including the likes of Dovu. So it'll be interesting to see how this development plays out and how it could impact Hedera as a whole and for HBAR token holders. This is the landing page on the Hedera website, where they go into a bit more depth about Dovu's offerings. So Dovu again is a tokenization platform which is mainly centered around trading of carbon at scale and at speed. And again, the article and the landing page goes into a bit more depth about how this initiative will play out, where Dovu takes on the benefits of Hedera's tokenization service to create carbon credits, which will be accessible and available to persons, businesses, or even governments. In this example, the Indian government. So extremely exciting and bullish, and it's extremely impressive that the likes of the Indian government have actually earmarked to the likes of Dovu and an extension Hedera's benefits. So again, time will tell in regards to how these developments play out and how it could impact both the overarching Hedera network and the likes of Dovu for years to come. So another story I'd like to talk about is how a Hedera Governing Council member in ServiceNow is also being at the center of actively utilizing Hedera's network. So a number of tweets, a thread of tweets were actually highlighted and put into place about this development, where the ServiceNow team actually highlighted and detailed to the launch of its ESG regenerative finance application, where the second tweet actually highlighted to how at the center of this initiative we'll see the active utility and leveraging of Hedera's network, where the active usage of Hedera's DLT infrastructure in this protocol will see the benefits of Hedera's network being utilized, especially in regards to the ability for ESG frameworks being taken advantage of, and in regards to the likes of Hedera's tokenization service being harnessed and incorporated and leveraged by the likes of ServiceNow and an extension its customer base. So the third tweet provided by ServiceNow also highlighted to how At the centre of this development, we'll see the monitoring of renewable energy as provided by the ESG framework put into place by ServiceNow, and how this will be leveraged and enabled through Hedera. So another exciting use case surrounding Hedera, and there's so many examples of how Hedera is being used by esteemed organisations, and I find it very interesting and exciting too that a Hedera Governing Council member have actually recognised and are fully aware of Hedera's use cases and have actively incorporated Hedera's developments into their own frameworks and protocols. So it'll be interesting again how this plays out and how it will impact the Hedera network and HBAR token holders, where ServiceNow is quite a significant organisation where over 80% of the Fortune 500 actively use ServiceNow's services. So it just shows how a highly esteemed organisation such as ServiceNow have actively observed the potential Hedera provides and how these potentials could be impacted upon and incorporated into their frameworks through the leveraging of Hedera's network. So another story I'd like to talk about is how Toko, alongside Red Swan CRE, which is a commercial real estate company with 5 billion assets under management, is actively building a tokenization vision on Hedera through its token studio. So the article actually again highlighted to this development and protocol where Red Swan CRE is set to build its token studio on Hedera for real world asset tokenization, where the actual article stated to how again Hedera will be at the center of being leveraged in this development and protocol, and how again the Red Swan, which is a commercial real estate company with $5 billion worth of assets under management, will be leveraging Hedera's network in this development. And another aspect of the story includes how tokenization of real estate will also be at the center of this development, where the organization will harness the tokenization aspects of Hedera, where Hedera's tokenization service comes with a number of benefits in terms of it being predictable, where fees are fixed, and the other benefits surrounding tokenization and the overarching Hedera network, where the ability for transactions to be validated are done so quite seamlessly, cost effectively, and at eco-friendly frameworks and protocols. So all around it makes abundant sense as to why the likes of this organization and more organizations are turning to Hedera for again frameworks surrounding tokenization activities, and how these developments will impact both Hedera and other organizations who choose to leverage and utilize Hedera's frameworks for their use cases, in this example tokenization of real estate. So again, at the center of this development, we'll see the tokenization of assets through Hedera's network, and how tokenized assets will be leveraged in this development and protocol. And finally, again, as I mentioned, the Hedera tokenization service will be at the center of this development, and all the innate qualities attached to Hedera's tokenization service will be leveraged, including speed, sustainability, security, and low fixed fees. So many examples of how Hedera is set to be used by a number of large organizations, especially its tokenization service. So again, so many developments are happening on Hedera, and I don't think there's too many other DLTs that can actually compete with Hedera in regards to how its network is being utilized and the amount of esteemed organizations which are turning to Hedera for their own developments and frameworks. So again, it'll be interesting to see how all of these developments play out and how it could impact the utility of Hedera's network and for HBAR token holders. What are your thoughts on Hedera? Are you bullish on the Indian government set to use Hedera indirectly? Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching, Crypto Clan. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.